How can you manifest your dreams into reality? Discover the secrets to manifestation that really works. Welcome back to the Path to Purpose podcast with Dr. Katja Rusanen. In today's episode, we are exploring another inspiring journey, offering expert tips to help you live your purpose. Are you ready to be inspired? I'm thrilled to introduce our guest, Cynthia Clark, who is a spiritual mentor and analyst expert and author of the MOJO of Multidimensional Manifesting. Cynthia has worked with over 7,000 people in the last 15 years to manifest all types of abundance. She meditates daily and channels messages from the higher dimensional realms. In this interview, Cynthia will share how you can unlock the secrets to purposeful manifestation. So stay tuned. And now I want to say welcome, Cynthia. I am super excited to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much. I am delighted to be here and to see you again and your beautiful face.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we connected years ago, and it has been one of those journeys when you just meet a person and you are like, yes, there is something that we can collaborate and support each others on our path to purpose. And now, as we are stepping into this, the sharing, I want to ask you, was there a special event that led you to this path?
Absolutely. I have a business background and I used to own a restaurant. I ran that for 7 years with my ex-husband. I was always very, how do you say, just very driven, very focused. This is the trajectory of my life. I'm going to be a good student, all that good stuff. Go to college, you know. So it was after we sold the restaurant, and my husband at the time he was burned out. Anybody who runs a restaurant can understand this. You work crazy hours, pretty much every day. There's no days off.
Mm.
And so we took time off. So essentially I went from being super, super busy to not doing anything. And for me, that was almost like a shock to my system. I'm like,
I
oh my
hear
gosh,
you.
what am I doing? Suddenly I'm not doing anything. This is crazy. So I went to the library one day because I love to read and I love to study and I love to learn new things. And I randomly picked up a book on palm reading. And I didn't know anything about it. I had never studied it before. And I was just open. And that day was the start of my new life. I didn't know it at the time, but that was the start of my new life. And it was a really profound deja vu experience that I had not only read that book before, but others like it, the palmistry genre. And I got a clear message from the divine that came in and said, you need to study this again.
Mm.
So that was the start.
Well, yes, buying books can be a good thing, and finding
Yes.
that way. And I love how you listen and you listened that guidance that you received and you said yes. And that has now helped so many people on their journey, finding that deeper meaning and purpose in their lives. And let's talk about more about the purposeful manifestation. So I
Yeah.
always want to also hear, because yes, we are experts in the field, but can you share something that you have manifested for yourself using what you teach for others?
Yeah, so this is a good story. I started seeing the number 717. So people who see numbers or synchronicities, I'm one of those people. I've been seeing numbers for forever, it seems like. And so I started seeing this number 717, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's this all about. But things happen in your life, right? And you just sometimes get thrown these little curveballs. So my current husband came up to me one day, and he was like, I think you should learn how to fly an airplane. And I'm just like, okay, where is this coming from? Like, this is so random. And I don't have a background in aviation. I don't have parents who are pilots. I mean, my brother is a private pilot, but it was just so out of left field. So I sat on it for about a month, and I'm like, now why is this coming up, And so then I started doing some research on, flight schools and things like that. And I found this flight school, and it was 71.7 miles away from my house. And I'm like, there's that number again.
That's it.
And I had a dream about it. I had like all these weird dreams too. So it was just like the universe was trying to tell me. And then, so I meditate on this stuff every day, right? I meditate and I go inward, and I'm asking, what would flying do for me? Like, this is just like, I mean, it's difficult to learn how to fly. And so what happened was my guides told me it will make you more multidimensional. Because you're going to be in a 3-dimensional space. And most people actually are just in a 2-dimensional space as they go through their lives. When you think of driving a car, you only have to think about, looking left and right and going forward or, reverse. But you don't have that like elevation change to think about, right? Like, what's above me, what's below me? You don't think about that. So I ended up breaking a wine glass. And this was what really decided it for me, because that's one of my signs, my signs. It's like, if you break a wine glass, it means something big is coming, and it's going to be a major change in your life. And so sure enough, I broke this glass, and it was like, okay, I guess that means I'm going to take some flying lessons. So it took me almost a year, but I did get my private pilot certificate. And yeah, it's definitely changed me in a lot of ways. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. And I can't wait to fly with you one day. Hopefully we can make it happen. That would be
hopefully.
so cool.
Yeah, because now I have a plane. So I manifested not only the certificate, but I manifested a plane. His name is Noble. He's a Cessna 182.
That is so cool. So now if people are like, okay, there seems to be some real benefits about purposeful manifesting. So can you share more benefits, what people can get if they are really tuning in here and getting the secrets to purposeful manifesting?
Yeah, so manifesting, obviously you can just manifest, and it can be completely out of alignment with your soul, right? Or your soul agenda. And that's really where the hands come in, and hand reading can help you so much, because we have 3 ways really that we can go. Okay, so most people manifest from their personality, right? They have interests, they have, maybe a background that led them to, create something, or to seek out something, things like that. So the personality is only one aspect. You also have your soul and your soul agenda, which can be in alignment with your personality or not, unless you actually know what your soul agenda is, then you might not have this in alignment. And then you have, of course, your free will and the choices that you deliberately make. So when all these merge together, that's when you can be more purposeful. And so I'm all about purposeful manifesting, because you're going to have a much more joyful existence. Okay, so really that's what it's about. We're not here to suffer, to be in stress, to be frustrated, to be just in that like really low vibration energy of like it's constantly a struggle, right? When you think about how some people just go through their lives, life is meant to be joyful and fulfilling. And if it's not joyful and fulfilling most of the time for you, then something is off, right? So you have to look inward and you have to figure out what is off. So when you manifest, and the universe is showing you, right? The universe is reflecting back to you what you believe to be true. So this is what most people don't realize, is we live in a holographic universe and it's based on what we perceive as our reality, but it's not really reality. There's so much more. We're multidimensional beings.
Yeah.
So we have to look at what is being reflected back to us, and that is going to show us where we can work, or where we need to heal, or where we need to shift something, or where we need to be in alignment. So I have a Cavalier King Charles.
Oh, look at that sweet face.
Yeah, he's my little baby.
But you shared so much gold right now, like all the things that why, because this is something I hear so often. Manifestation doesn't work. And
Yes.
like, oh, I tried that, it didn't work. And oh, I did this and it didn't work. So manifestation doesn't work. But you brought forward those three things that it's not only to manifesting from our mind, and this is something I have learned as well. It's really being true to your soul, like aligning with that purpose and mission why you came here. And when you are on that direction, when you are opening the doors towards that direction, there is that ease, there is that joy coming through. So one of the key things there is that alignment. So is there anything else that why do so many people struggle with manifestation?
Yeah, they struggle because number one is they probably don't set intentions. So this is what my whole book is about, is my spirit guides told me that there are 8 essential intentions that you need to have, not only in your belief system, but really ingrained in and anchored in your energy field. And if you have those 8 intentions anchored in your energy field, you will be able to manifest what it is that you want. So each chapter, I go through a different intention. So yes, we definitely have to set our intentions. So, people, if they're trying to manifest, they may have 2 or 3 of these intentions anchored, but if they're missing, 1 or 2, those can be fairly significant, and that can block you for sure. And you should always be asking yourself, not only what do I want to manifest, but you should be asking, is this in alignment with my purpose?
A golden question. I love that.
And if it's not, then maybe it's not the best thing for you.
Yeah.
And I have such compassion for people who struggle, because I really want everybody to be happy and live a fulfilling life. But it's interesting how people go through cycles, and they keep doing the same things over and over again. And then they think, oh, yeah, and then they just give up and they think it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a lot of inner work. You know, I'm not going to lie. Like, stuff doesn't just magically appear. You have got to be willing to look at yourself at a very deep level. And if you are willing to put in the work, you can absolutely transform your life in miraculous ways. I mean, I manifest magic all the time. I mean, sometimes I'm almost a little embarrassed about it because it's so magical. And I feel like, well, I don't want to sound arrogant. Like, I don't want to be, I don't want people to think I'm just showing off. But I mean, honestly, every day for me is just magical. And I'm so grateful for that because I mean, what could be better, right?
Exactly. Really being in that alignment, living your purpose and serving in the world. I love that all that you do and how you help others to manifest as well what is for them. And one of the things, let's go into that. You mentioned the spirit guides and you mentioned the purpose. So can you just share with us what your spirit guides say about purpose? So what is this purpose? Because everybody has their definition. So let's hear what's yours.
Yes. So I actually want to give you a little quote from my book because this was something that came through in one of my meditations. And so this is what they said. They said, purpose is not an object to be found. Rather, it is a process that is part of your everyday existence. You agree to come to Earth and serve the one. That is everyone's purpose. But how this is accomplished is through the unique individual's DNA coding, the personality, and the free will choices that come up every day. It is an unfolding this process you call purpose. It is fluid with many intersections based on those choices. So I loved that because it's like a lot of times people think it's a destination,
Yes,
and it's not.
fine.
It's not a destination, it's the process. But I also loved how they talked about the DNA coding because that is in your fingerprints, that is in your soul imprint, which is in your hands. And so that's where, I feel like my background in hand analysis has really been so amazing, and I'm so grateful for it, because where else can you identify your DNA? I mean, it's right here. It's right in front of you. It's literally in front of you every day. Like, how amazing is that? You don't have to submit your blood sample or whatever. Like, I know people do that kind of stuff, but you don't even need that. You just need to know what your fingerprints are telling you.
Yeah, we have the map.
Yeah, the map is right here in literally in your hands.
Yeah, I love that. And now, if people are like, okay, let's go, I want to manifest and have that purposeful manifestation in mind. So, what are some activities that people can do to start manifesting purposefully?
Okay, well, definitely setting intentions is huge. Okay, so I like to set intentions, and my spirit guides give me intentions all the time. So I thought I would share a little invocation that my spirit guides gave me using one of the portals in your hands. Okay, so your fingerprints are not only your roadmap to your life and your best life, they are also portals to your multidimensionality and accessing that divine self, that multidimensional self within you. Okay, so they give me different symbols and all kinds of stuff, which is, part of what they just call it palm portal healing or dermatoglyphic epigenetics. It's essentially taking that taking that intention and then anchoring it into the multidimensional. Okay, so first off, we need to know what the symbol is. It's called the mastery symbol, and I just drew it out here for you. So it's a square inside of a circle, and then it's got the two lines that intersect, connecting the corners of the square. Okay, so they told me this is the symbol for mastery. Okay, so we're going to connect to our left Jupiter finger, which is our left index finger. Okay, so this is your finger of self-knowledge. Okay, because if we want to learn our purpose, we better know what our left Jupiter finger has to say. Okay, very important. Okay, so what I want everybody to do is envision that you've got that symbol that I just showed you embedded on your left Jupiter finger. Okay, and you can go ahead and just place that finger on your heart. Okay, so now we're going to open up the portal. All right, so I want you just to take a deep breath in and repeat after me. Left Jupiter, portal open, so that I may claim my divine birthright of inner strength and self-knowledge. I choose to now anchor the full support of the universe in all dimensions, my abilities to be a master manifester and see tangible results in my third dimensional realm of existence. Thank you, and so it is. And then take another deep breath in and just feel that connect with your heart. Feel it connect with the cosmic heart. Feel the strength of yourself, your divine self, your divine knowingness that you got this. You can do this. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and just release your hand from your heart. So that's a process. Okay. So they're always giving me these invocations, these intentions, and they say it's very, very important that because we have free will, we're here on earth, we have free will. It's one of the aspects of purpose. So we want to anchor in stuff that is in the highest alignment, the highest potential, the highest path to purpose, as you would say. I mean, that's what it's all about. And if we anchor in stuff that is, it's harmful, right? Okay, so we look at it from the opposite. It's like you're anchoring in, I'm stupid, I'm not good enough. Oh, who am I to do that? Oh, that's for everybody but me. Oh, I don't know if this works. You know, that's doubt. Okay, all of those things, that's anchoring into your field. Every time you think that, every time you believe that, every time you know that. So we have to like cut all of that out and start really being intentional and purposeful in our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, and our responses. And you have to become a master at those things. And that's how you become a master manifester.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that invocation. It was powerful experience, and I do hope people take that time. And the beauty is here. You can go back and listen to it again if you feel like, oh, maybe you were busy. So take that time. Give yourself that moment to listen in and really take it in. And now, as people have that experience, and they are now like, okay, let me do the purposeful manifestation. So how do you know that you are on purpose? What's your opinion there?
Well, you will feel a sense of calm and ease in your life. You know, I mean, that's really the ultimate thing is when you're on purpose, you know you're on purpose, and you have this sense of belonging. You feel comfortable in who you are. You feel like you're being guided every day, because it's a co-creation with the divine. You just have this greater sense that, yes, this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not always comfortable. It's not always easy, but it's what I'm here for. And so that's really how you know. And, it is a process.
Yeah.
But I encourage people to go inward, meditate, ask, what wants to co-create through me? What is my highest potential? Ask the good questions. Yeah.
I think that's a really good key, like ask the good questions, because how often we say all kind of have negative thoughts or fears and all that. I have been there, and there is such a power when we start shifting even the questions that we ask. And often I share this with my clients, like we can play that what if game. Like, what if something goes wrong? I was there doing that for years, but then I started playing what if? What if I can do it? What if it happens like I dream of? What if I can manifest? And test that out, because it's much more fun to play that what if game in positive than it is
for sure.
in negative. So just
Yeah.
thought to share that too, because it came to my mind like, yeah, I can get that like really good.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
you have given us so much to think about today. And I know you put together a special gift for my audience to take what we have been talking here today and go deeper with you. So can you share a little bit about the gift?
Yes. I just want everybody to know that I recently published my book, The MOJO of Multidimensional Manifesting, and then Unlocking True Abundance Through Spiritual Ascension. So this book is not just about manifesting. It is about a way of being, which is ascension. So we didn't even get into ascension yet, but ascension is where we're at. So we're moving into a higher dimensional realm of existence. We are tapping into our multidimensional selves. We are becoming more as humans. We are evolving, right? So my gift is chapter 1. You can have absolutely free, and you can learn all about what it means to be multidimensional, because that's what chapter 1 is about. And I will take you through the 7 aspects of ascension, so you can understand exactly how are we evolving and how do we do it.
Wow. Thank you so much for beautiful gifts. So I will put it in the show notes below. So go and check it out and get that first chapter. And then, of course, you can go and buy the whole book, because I believe there is so much gold in that book. And now I'd love to ask you, Cynthia, do you have a special message that you would like to share as we wrap up here?
Yes, I would love for everybody just to remember that you are more than your body. You are so much more than your body and this, what we perceive as our reality. You are actually a multidimensional being. And when you start to think that way, everything can shift.
Yeah.
So start recognizing your own magnificence and your own multidimensionality, and know that you are a co-creator of your life. You co-create with the divine. You co-create the expression of what is possible, and you are unique. This is the other thing, is every single person is unique, 100% unique. So you have a purpose that nobody else can fulfill. You have a path that no one else can fulfill. And it is your job to be a detective, and to uncover what that is so that you can share it with the rest of us so that we can all witness what it is. And we all become more because of it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here today and sharing your wisdom. And if you found this interview helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more inspiring content. And don't forget to check out the previous episodes too. I'm sending you lots of light and love. Stay well and stay tuned for more. Bye for now.